Hello friends. So I have been working on things here in the kitchen. Well, I've also been working on a lot of stuff outside, but then it got really hot, so I was like, air conditioning it is. And I came into the house and chopped up a whole bunch of onions. I got my Azure Standard order yesterday, and I had ordered a bunch of onions because a while back I did a whole bunch of onions and I freeze dried them. And at that time I also froze a whole bunch of diced onions, and I realized, it is really convenient having diced onions frozen and ready for recipes. It just makes it really nice. And so I went ahead and I ordered a whole bunch of onions for this past order. I got red onions and the traditional white onions, diced them all up, froze them in my freezer containers, and I have them conveniently tucked away here in my freezer. And then I also, this morning, headed out to the garden, brought in another load of goodies, and it's not producing in tremendous abundance like in Alabama, but considering all of the challenges that the garden has, faced the last year. And last year was really the first year, and then of course I had the grazon contamination, had to start it all over again. This year everything went in fine, but of course we've been sitting at like 100 degrees for almost a month. It has not rained at our house in a month, like easy. Mr. Smith went on a trip to Korea for work. He was gone for 3 weeks. He's been home a week. We have not had rain since before his trip. So the fact that I am still getting goodies from the garden makes me very happy. But a lot of the things are going to be winding down. This week, hopefully, I'll be able to get out there and actually start clearing out some of the beds and prepping them for a little bit of a fall garden. Won't be doing a whole lot because I've got other things that I'm working on. But I'll at least try and get some cabbage and some other things in there. Maybe some carrots. We'll just have to see what I feel like growing this fall. I don't usually do a real big fall garden. At least I haven't in a while, but I would like to get a few things out there. I had shared in my previous video where I made Mr. Smith some of his kind of pickled veggie salad, or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like the cucumber salad, but it's other veggies. We had the cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, peppers in that brine and let it sit in the fridge for a couple of days, and he has been munching on that nonstop. Well, I made a whole nother jar of those, and these ones I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with. One of the things that I love to do with tomatoes, when I've got them coming in, not in like massive quantities, but steady amounts, is simply take the tomatoes, remove the cores and the blossom end and all of that, and stick them in a freezer, in freezer bags. And then later on, when you have a little bit more time, you can cook them down for spaghetti sauce, marinara. You can do all the things with them at that time later on. And it makes it super easy to get the skins off, because when they thaw out, the skins just slide right off. So that is something that I have been doing with those. Now, all of these gazillions of cherry tomatoes, which I grew way too many of, Mr. Smith has been munching on them. As you saw, I put a whole bunch of them in the garden pickle concoction. But what cherry tomatoes aren't getting munched on, they are treats for the chickens. They absolutely love them. It's a great way to get them nutrition and to get them to consume water when it's 100 degrees outside. So I don't mind sharing the cherry tomatoes with the chickens. My peppers, I've been freezing these, just like the onions that I did earlier. I dice them up, I freeze them in the containers, that way I can pull them out as I need to. My jalapeno peppers, these ones, I just go ahead, I cut off the stem end, I split them in half, remove the seeds, and then I just freeze them in halves. And so that way, when it comes time for me to use them, I can just thaw them out and mince them up you know, real quick at that time. That's just super easy. And then I got some more cucumbers this morning. I have a couple more cayenne peppers that I need to dry. And y'all, I have a gazillion Brazilian peppers out there. A gazillion Brazilians. A whole bunch of those out there. And that none of them have ripened yet. But I think I saw the very first one with a little bit of color on it. So those ones might be ripening or beginning to ripen soon. And then I'll have a ton of those. If they all of those peppers that are on those plants out there, if they grow to fruition, that's going to be a lot of peppers. I can't believe how big some of those plants got this year. Last year my peppers really struggled. I didn't get much of anything last year, but man, this year I will tell you, those grow bags that I used for the pepper plants, they're doing really well in them. Some of those plants are shoulder high to me, sitting there on the ground in those grow bags. So, and they're covered with peppers, especially the jalapenos. I've gotten so many jalapeno peppers. And I mentioned in my last video, I've gotten a few bell peppers, not a ton, more than I usually do. I really struggle with the bell peppers, but jalapenos usually do good, cayennes usually do good. And then the Brazilians, man, there's going to be a lot of those when they start coming. But you know, I have something that I've been wanting to make. Now, this is something that you can kind of make as a side dish. You can make it as a snack. It's a great appetizer. And it is a baked onion dish. And I've been craving this forever. And so I thought I would go ahead and make some since I have all of those onions. Now, I didn't dice and freeze all of my onions. I did save a whole bunch for the pantry. But I'm going to grab one of those. I'm going to slice it up and we're going to make a really tasty treat. And the dogs are barking at the driveway. I've got my little helper here. Say hi. You want to say hi? Alright, so we just got done shredding some cheese. And you could do this with Parmesan. You can do this with cheddar. It's really whatever you want to do. I'm using mozzarella today because I have a whole bunch of mozzarella. So I'm just going to spread a layer of this out on my baking sheet.
Mama.
What, baby?
That.
And this is not really something you have to measure, y'all. This is just a fun snack.
Mama.
I've got a baking sheet. Hold on, baby. I have a baking sheet lined with some parchment paper. And we're just going to spread out the cheese. This is maybe, I don't know, 2 cups, maybe 3 cups, something like that. You just want a layer of cheese.
Mama.
Yes, baby.
You making pizza?
Am I making pizza? No, not really. But I know it kind of looks like it, doesn't it? I got cheese everywhere, huh?
I help.
You help?
Eat it. And that big cheese.
Alright.
I'm a mayo.
So next, I'm going to take an onion and I'm going to cut this into slices.
You're tomato. I like a tomato.
You know what? Oh, this isn't a tomato, baby. This is an onion. Can you say onion?
Onion.
Onion. Good.
Onion, tomato.
Onion. This is not the right knife. This is my cheese knife. Hold on. Let me get a better knife. That was not going to cut through this very good.
I need a big one. I need a more. I help.
No. I don't need another knife, baby. Thank you. Alright. No, I don't need that one. Thank you. I got one right here. Alright, so we're just going to take this onion and we're going to cut it into slices. You don't like it?
I want a middle.
This is onion, baby. Onion. Alright, we're gonna try and keep the slice together like this. And we're just gonna lay it on top of the cheese. And we're gonna do that with all of this onion.
Happy.
Is it happy? Is it a happy onion? No.
Need eyes.
It needs eyes. Oh, you see the rings? Does it look like a happy face?
Yeah, onion.
Yeah. We might have enough here to do 2 onions. We'll just have to see. You want to cut them kind of thin, but not too thin.
Okay.
Okay.
Woo! Stop! My try.
No, baby, I promise you can't do this. Not yet. You're not big enough. No, not yet, baby. This was kind of a weird shaped onion, so we're not gonna get some perfect circles, but that's okay. Mm-hmm.
Like that. Mommy, I haven't cut an onion.
Mm-hmm. Is Oma cutting the onion?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that onion?
I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. I'm just gonna sprinkle it over the top.
Mama,
Yes, baby.
what do you mean?
I'm making a snack. A snack. I'm gonna use these knives. No, it's not pie, baby.
Can I make pie? Can I make pie? Are you talking about me? I like it.
Chocolate ice cream. I'm sure you like it.
I like it. I done it. Yeah, I hopping.
Mm-hmm.
I want
All right.
flip it.
I'm gonna add a little bit of paprika. I needed to refill my little jar that's on my shelf, so I went and grabbed my big one here. I'm just gonna sprinkle that.
Pickle. Pickle.
Pickle.
No, I don't like pickle.
These aren't pickles, baby. These are onions.
I don't like onions.
You don't like onions. You don't like much of anything. She's very finicky.
That's sad.
You're sad. Why are you sad?
Mommy. He's mad.
Hmm?
He's mad.
Who's mad?
Barbie. Mommy.
No. The kitty cat mad?
Yeah.
Oh, kitty cat is mad?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so then we're going to add...
Mommy, should be famous.
Oh, okay. Mhm. Okay. Alright, last I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt over the top here. I need to refill my big jar over there. So I'm just using a little bit of kosher salt. Alright, perfect timing. So I'm just going to take my pan of onion slices and cheese, paprika, garlic powder, and a little bit of salt. I'm going to pop these into the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes or so until they're nice and golden. And again, this is a 400 at 400 degrees. Mm-hmm.
I can see. It's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Set a timer.
I see. I see.
Let me turn the light on so you can see. There you go.
Wow.
Careful.
I like it, ice cream.
You like it?
I need ice cream.
That's not ice cream, baby, I promise.
I need ice cream.
Oh, you want ice cream, huh?
Yeah, paper.
Your favorite? Always,
I do
always, always.
I do it. I do it. I do it.
Ooh, look at that. Mm-mm. Alright, so now I'm going to grab a cooling rack and I'm going to carefully slide this out and let it cool. Hot, 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 baby. There you go. All right.
Toffee, put toffee.
All right, now I'm gonna let this cool completely. Now, I did want to mention real quick, I've had a bunch of people comment about my little chicken pot holders. These came from Hobby Lobby, and last I checked, they do still have them on their website. If they don't have them in your Hobby Lobby near you, they're under $3, which is why I bought several of them, because I just thought they were super cute. Now they do have a weird shape because of, you know, the shape of the hen. So you do have to be mindful when you're using them to not burn yourself, but I just thought they were cute. And like I said, they were under $3. I think it was, I don't know, $2.95, $2.94, something like that for the pot holders. So we're gonna let that cool and we'll try it out in a little bit. So we had a roll-off dumpster delivered, so that we can take all of the tile from the kitchen that I had pulled out and all of that stuff, and then doing a little bit of property cleanup. Just some stuff that's been needing to get done. And you know, we live so far away from where we would haul this stuff off to ourselves, and it would take multiple trips, and then you got to pay every time you go. So we thought, you know what, let's just do a dumpster. I mean, we've never done that since we lived here, but you know, there was stuff that was left here in our shed when the previous people moved out, stuff that we don't need, and then this way we can just get rid of all the junk, do a big old cleanup. Hi, baby. Hi, buddy. Hi, stinker. I feel good. I feel good. Are we gonna get a lip quiver? You gonna get a lip quiver? Yeah. So this just shows you how we have not had any rain. This is our once lovely creek. Nothing but a bunch of rocks now. Which happens pretty much every August. It's a dry season. Every August we have a few weeks with nothing here. There are just a few.
Right here by the water hose that comes out on the other side. Comes out the water on the other side.
Oh, I saw the movement. Oh, there he goes. There is a snake still down there. I don't know. Y'all probably can't see it. It's down there near the far rocks where the water hose comes down through there. Oh, there he is right down there. Or maybe that's another one. I'll put a little arrow and zoom it in for you when I edit this. You can see him sitting there. That's a small one. I think that's one of the young ones. I hear you, Thunder. I hear you. Quit being such a tease. So right here by the creek, by the waterfall, we have a stone bench that was built, and right next to it you can see this plant here growing. This, if you look, you'll see along the stems these clusters of berries, and this is one of my many beauty berry plants. This is the only one that's down here near the house though. Most of them are up on the mountainside, up along the rock bluff. And last year I did a video where I was harvesting these berries. When they're ripe, they're a little bit more plump and they're a beautiful magenta color. And in that video I also made beauty berry jelly from it. It is a very brightly flavored, very unique, almost floral jelly. It's really hard to describe. It has its own flavor. But this plant is native to the United States. It does grow kind of all over the place, mostly in the south, I believe. Although you do have to know where to look. It likes rocky, sunny spots. And so it's actually kind of surprising that it's right here. But the other place, like I mentioned, that we have a lot of it is way up there on the mountain. I will put a link to that video in a card up here. I just heard a great big splash. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was trying to get one of the few remaining little fishies. Most everything is gone. I don't know if there's even any oh, yep, I just saw one. There's a couple fish down here. But they won't be here for much longer if we don't get more rain. I see the snake swirling around. That's a young one. That's a little bitty snake. Now, the biggest pool is down there by the garden. That's always the last one to dry up because it's bigger, it's deeper. There's still fish down there, not very many, but there are some fish down there. Actually, that's probably where most of the snakes are right now because there's always a lot more fish down there. When the river or when the creek stops flowing, the water will be sitting down there and all the fish get trapped. And the snakes know where to go. They know where to go to get it. And the raccoons. And Milk Dud, who's still sitting back there on the rocks. He's come running up the stairs, which is a sight to see because that is the slowest moving cat I've ever seen in my life. But he has come running up the stairs with a fish in his mouth before. And then the other two cats sit there and look at him like, dude, you're not going to share? Alright, y'all. So, I'm actually getting ready to go out and do some weed eating. My garden is a disaster, but I'll talk about that in just a second. So, this recipe, now, here's the thing. When it comes to cheese, I am usually a more is more kind of girl, but this is one of those things, it's actually a less is more situation. And I confess I went a little heavy on the cheese. If I used a little bit less cheese, put a thinner layer of the cheese down, this whole thing would get a little bit golden and crispy, including the onions. But, like I said, I went a little heavy with the cheese. That is my weakness. So the only thing that's going to be really crispy is around the edges, but this will still be absolutely delicious. So I'm just going to take my little kitchen shears here and let's see, let's go over here. We'll cut a piece out. See, you got that nice crunch around the edge, and then it gets chewy there in the middle. Like I said, it is it is a less is more situation with the cheese, but that's okay. So there you go. Now you could actually use these for like a low-carb burger bun. Cook yourself a patty, cut 2 of these out and use them for the bun. It'd be absolutely delicious. But again, these ones got a little bit soft because I used too much cheese, but these are so good, and they make a great snack. They make a great appetizer. You can do all sorts of things with them, and when you get them super crispy, they'll kind of break up into pieces, and you can use them like a chip too. Super good. Alright y'all, I had one more thing that I wanted to share with you. As you recall, I mentioned in another video, I don't think it was the last one, maybe the one before that, I took a fall, I hurt my back, and it was bad, y'all. It was hurting so bad. Now, in my last video, I thought I was maybe doing a little bit better, but by the end of that day, I was full on in absolute misery again. It had been a pretty steady, the pain kind of would ebb and flow, but the pain when it was flowing was so severe. I was honestly beginning to wonder if I hadn't cracked a vertebrae in my back. And of course I didn't go to the doctor. I know what y'all are thinking. I just hate going to the doctor. If you know me, you know me. And you know, I'm not going to the doctor unless I think I'm dying or I feel like I'm dying. Even then, I might not go to the doctor. But I was beginning to wonder if I had broken a vertebrae. And on Saturday, I had Bible study group. And while I was there, I asked everyone to pray for me. While I was on my way to study, you know, just driving in the truck, I would feel every bump. It was just miserable riding in a vehicle because the truck seats would make my back hurt even more. I'd feel every bump, every curve, everything. It was wearying. The pain was just so much. And I got to my Bible study group, and you know, we had our Bible study, and I kind of got up and moved around a few times just because it hurt to sit still for so long. And as we were wrapping up, I asked for everyone to pray for me and pray for my back. And I told them, you know, how I'd taken a fall and everything, and I'd hurt my back, and I was in a lot of pain. And while they were praying for me, I started feeling warm in my body, and then almost lightheaded, like a swoon sort of light feeling. And after everyone had prayed, I stood up and I didn't feel any pain. I moved around, I like twisted my body very slowly and gently, nothing. I'm like, all right, let's drive home and see what the truck seat does to me. No pain. Went to bed, got up the next morning. Usually the second I wake up, it's immediate pain. No pain. And so, after a week of absolute misery, absolute horrible pain, thinking I had done some major damage, the Father healed my back. The pain was gone immediately and completely. And so I just had to share that with y'all. I just had to share that testimony. The Father is good, and He is a healer. Now, He does not always heal us, and sometimes He has a reason. But this time, He chose to heal my back. And I am so grateful. And so all glory to Him, all praise to Him, and all gratitude to Him. So, with that, I am going to put on some blue jeans. It is 86 degrees outside at the moment, but my garden needs weed eating. Something awful. And it was needing it to begin with, but then I hurt my back. Couldn't do nothing out there. So, I'm fixing to throw on some jeans and go out there and clean up my poor garden. So, that is it for today, friends. Thank you for joining me here again at the homestead. God bless, and I'll talk to y'all next time.